Hello and welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block, where we bring you the finest singer-songwriters in the Valley area. I'm your host, Brian Mallard, and today's special guest, very special, very talented guest, is Mr. Travis Mackey.
How's it going, Brian?
It's going pretty good. Good to have you on the show. How you doing?
Oh, so far so good. You know, it's another wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Excellent. So tell me about yourself, Travis. Where were you born?
I was actually born in Jefferson County, Alabama, and kind of back and forth between Brunswick, Georgia, and Albany up until I was about 3 or 4. And then my parents actually moved to Columbus and Phoenix City whenever I was about 4 years old, and just been here ever since. So
now, around Albany, are you familiar with Radium Springs down there?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, too young.
I was 3 and 4, so.
Yeah. He wasn't doing a lot of resort vacationing.
No.
So tell me about your parents. What did they do?
Well, my dad is a maintenance supervisor for Wendy's, or Windbus Corporation. Pretty much if anything blows up, if anything goes down, he's the guy that goes in and fixes it.
Wow.
Yeah, and my mom, as of right now, she's a stay-at-home mom. Whenever I was growing up, she was actually more a manager at Wendy's, which is actually kind of how they met, was through Wendy's. And, you know, my dad has been working there for, I think, over 20 years now. Wow. And anytime you see a remodel done at Wendy's or any kind of new anything at Wendy's, he's the guy that did it.
Wow. Good work, too. So pretty nice stuff in Wendy's these days.
Well, they try.
Now, were your parents musical at all?
Actually, no. The closest thing that they've done with music is listen to it. And that's about where I get my diversity for my music from.
Right.
Is from my parents, because they looked at country, they said this is great. They looked at blues, they said this is great. They looked at rap, they said some of this is great. You know, classical, you name it, they introduced me to all of it just because they like listening to it.
Nice. Best thing a parent can do for their kid. Now, tell me about some of your earliest influences, like as far as you were growing up, all the music that you heard. What were some of your favorites?
Well, started off with Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's one of my guitar favorites. He's just, the way that he goes into his music, the way that he just lets everything out into his songs. That's what I try to give my people that come out and listen to me. Right. I try to give them that same feel. Nice. And then also Eric Mongrain, Tommy Emmanuel, Andy McKee, Khaki King, all of these just alternative acoustic styles. You'll see a lot of that whenever I put some of it out there. Right. But I started off in music because of my 7th grade year. I actually enrolled in band. I started off in percussion. I played the drums. I'll play snare drum, bass drum, timpani, xylophone, the triangle, you name it. Yeah, we'd always wondered what it would sound like to have an electric triangle. Rock it out.
John Phillips, get on that.
Oh man. But from there, went up and I started playing in a church praise band. You know, I went to one of their practices while they were playing one time, and they saw me tapping on a Coke can, and they said, "Hey, do you play the drums?" I said, "Well, I play snare drum in the school band." And they said, "Okay, well, come up here and try it." And it sounded terrible. I mean, just god awful. And one thing is, they said, "Okay, practice through this song real quick." We ran through it again, sounded terrible. They said, "Okay, you're playing Wednesday." Excuse me? What? You want me to play Wednesday? It's Monday. And we went through it, and again, it sounded terrible on Wednesday. But they said, "All right, come back Monday for practice." And so we did that for a few weeks, and finally I started getting pretty decent. Played the drums there for several months, probably 5-6 months. And then I saw the bass guitar. So then I was like, I'm going to learn how to play that. Then I went from bass guitar to acoustic guitar, then electric guitar, and a little bit of piano, and then vocals. And pretty much I love it all. You know, anything that makes any kind of awesome sound, I'm there. You know. So from there, played with the praise band for about 6 or 7 years, just doing lead guitar for them. And then I ran into you at Total Systems whenever I worked there. And we started playing with the Renegade at the Loft. I had an awesome time there. I ended up getting a job out in Auburn, so I was unable to, come play at the Loft anymore. And from there, I joined the Wellfellers about a year or so later after that.
Cool. Let's get to that on like the Wellfellers and all that on the second segment. What I want to know here is when did it click for you that you wanted to play music, as far as opposed to fiddling around with something, playing guitar or whatever? Because a lot of people do that and a lot of people put it down. When did it click for you that this is what you were going to keep doing?
Well, like I said before, I started off with the drums, then went to the bass, but then came the guitar.
Yeah.
And the second I started picking up the guitar, that's just where it blew my mind. And how I really got started with the guitar was my old youth pastor. He actually used to play lead guitar for Jonathan and Lisa Moore Band, their local band out of Columbus. And he came up to me, and we were just sitting there talking about guitar one day, and he brought out this Fender Stratocaster. It was probably a $1,200 guitar, and it was just gorgeous. And I was joking around with him. I said, "Hey, you mind if I take that home with me?" And he looked at me and said, "Sure."
I wonder if that works at Gorilla Guitars.
I wish. I'd probably have a wall full of guitars. But so I took it home, and I had it for a few days, and I ended up breaking a string. And I thought I had broken the guitar. So I didn't want to give it back out, and came back on Sunday, and I said, "Sean, I apologize. I broke a string. Please forgive me." He said, "Dude, don't worry about it. I got a pack of strings here. Let's fix it." So I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" He said,
"They are
"No."
replaceable, people."
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, you should see how many I go through now. But, just the fact that he was willing to just let me take this guitar home, try it out, and, see if it was something that I wanted to do. And like I said, I've been skyrocketing ever since. I can't seem to put it down. Whenever I'm at work, I think about playing guitar. Yeah. Whenever I'm at home, all I want to do is play my guitar. And I don't know, it's addicting, really.
Yeah, very much so.
I guess it's just the feeling that you get whenever you literally put all of yourself into something, and you get something out of it.
Very cool. Now, before we go to one of your songs, what inspired you to write?
Well, I started doing some cover songs, and I realized that my covers don't really turn out as great as the originals do. So I decided to why not try something myself?
Yeah.
Now I can write lyrics over here, I can write songs over here, but whenever it comes to combining the two, that's where I sort of hit a roadblock.
Right.
And I just recently started breaking through that roadblock, and you'll actually see one of those.
Nice.
The outcomes of one of those.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I want to give the world sort of a message. And you'll hear that in my acoustic songs. That's a message of hope, a message of, yes, you can pretty much do whatever you put your mind to. And now the lyrics kind of put an opposite side to that. Realize that there is some pain, some hate in the world, but in the end you can still come out of it.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Let's check out one of Travis's songs. We'll be right back after this.
This song is a song I wrote called The Wrong End. Hope you like. I'm staring down the long neck of a bottle. I'm staring down the wrong end of a gun. Drinking my sorrows away. I'm trying to find some great escape. I'm staring down the long neck of a bottle. I'm staring down the wrong end of a gun. I'm drinking my sorrows away. I'm trying to find some great escape. There is something I should be fighting for, but it seems to have slipped my mind. Now I'm drinking my life away. I'm staring down the long end of a gun. Please don't leave me here drinking alone. And please don't walk away. I thought that I could count on you, but I can see that that's not true. There is something I should be fighting for, but it seems to have slipped my mind. Now I'm drinking my life away. I'm staring down the wrong end of a gun. There is something I should be fighting for, but it seems to have slipped my mind. Now I'm drinking my life away. I'm staring down the wrong end of a gun. I'm staring down the long neck of a bottle. I'm staring down the wrong end of a gun.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Special guest Travis Mackey. So Travis, now we had gone through where you started playing music, played with Renegade, played with the Wellfellers, and you were on the Wellfellers. So tell me, like, what do you have going on now, leading up to what you have going on now? Tell me about the Wellfellers.
Well, first off, let's start back with the Renegade.
Okay.
The Renegade actually put me into the scene here in Columbus. And whenever I left that, you know, I still had, you know, kind of my foot in the door of what we need to do to sort of get a breakthrough. Well, I started coming back once I got onto a better shift schedule in Auburn. And, you know, I would drive from Auburn to Columbus just so I could play. And what I started doing was I invited friends over, and we'd be like, "Hey, y'all want to come out and see us play? Well, see me play at the open mic nights."
Right.
And one of those friends is a good friend of mine named Betty. I've known her since 7th grade. Well, she just happens to be dating Daniel.
Right.
And, you know, I said, "Hey, Daniel, I heard you do some songs. You want to come out and play?" He said, "Well, you know, let's wait, see how it goes." So he came out, saw that the crowd was huge at open mic night at Fountain City, best open mic night in the world. Just the fact that there were so many people there actually willing to listen to the music, that he was just, all right, let's do it. So he got up there and he started performing one or two of his songs, you know, and a cover song occasionally. And then we started actually performing together. And then we invited Lucas and Grant out there so we could try to form a full band.
Right.
And, you know, we started running through band names and we came across the Wellfellers, and which was a complete mishap in and of itself. But we started performing as the Wellfellers, and we started doing amazing. You know, I think for us being together for only a year, we accomplished a lot.
You guys were fantastic.
Right. you know, what can I say? No, I think we actually, you know, we were on the board. We were going through the roof. People loved us. And one of the bandmates went back to school, and we decided to take a quick break. And since then, we've just had some scheduling conflicts, and as of right now, there are no plans to move forward with the Wellfellers. It is sad, but you know, we do have to try to work on our own material and go forward from there.
Yeah. And you never know. But remember the Eagles, the Hell Freezes Over tour?
Right.
So, you know, that unfortunately does happen, but you just never know, you know, what may happen in the future. And the Wellfellers were fantastic, and you can check them out on this very station. And this has been an edition of CTVEA's Behind the Music. That's right. Now, so tell me, what are you doing now, post Wellfellers?
As of right now, I'm actually working on putting my own music out there, labeling myself. And just went out and had an awesome photo shoot down on the Riverwalk.
I saw some of that. It was really good.
check it out on Facebook or Reverb Nation. I'm wanting to get back into the recording studio because I'm actually writing more songs for myself, writing songs with lyrics. Nice. And so we're just going on. Well, I'm just going on from there. I'm trying to find more venues to play at. I'm wanting to go to Atlanta, find some open mic nights there, or Montgomery, so I could try to branch out and make a broader fan base. Mm-hmm. On top of that, just to make a little bit of extra money on the side, I've started painting.
Oh, right, the painting.
Yes, and I've started doing what I like to call, or what the term is, space paintings. Yeah. And pretty much you just take spray paint and you make these awesome, layouts of outer space with them. Yeah. And it's just really neat, really fun stuff. I've been doing it for about a month now, and I've already, sold several paintings. I've performed on the street corner with it. Okay. And another thing that I'm trying to do with the music is I'm actually trying to get out on the street corner more. Mm-hmm. That way I can, let the passersby actually see me play and, try to get my word out that way.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Now, what are your long-term goals?
My long-term goals?
You mentioned like wanting to get in the studio, working on your own music, and you have the painting, which we'll show you on the third segment. How far would you like to take it? What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself going?
To be honest with you, I want to go all the way. Whenever it comes to my career path, music is it. Mm-hmm. I want that to be when I wake up, go to work, and do. If I can do that, I can die a very, very happy person. I want to go on tour. I want to play at festivals. I want to. One of my big dreams is to play at Bonnaroo.
Oh yeah, I heard of that.
I would love to play there, and just in the meantime, I want to try to go ahead and get a CD made. Mm-hmm. Probably design my own album art, and then put together a full CD so I can start playing more. Mm-hmm. Selling it, and like I said, branch out, because I want the whole world to see what I have to offer.
Right. Yeah.
Because personally, I think what I have to offer is huge. Yeah. I love what I do, and I think that a lot of people around here like what I do. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to get it out there and show the world my message.
Yeah. So. And I've heard critiques of you from people when you played. Like, so I was talking about how a lot of people make a mistake of when they get higher, they're actually getting louder, which they're doing the technique wrong. But the observation I heard was that you actually did it right. That you actually, when you'll step away from the mic to give those high notes, whereas a lot of people just get louder. You're actually doing it the correct way. So your technique is right.
Thank you. That takes practice. Starting out as the Wellfellers, mm-hmm. I had never actually sang into a microphone before. Right. So something that Daniel helped me out with was actually, you can sing loud, mm-hmm. but you don't want to sing too loud to where you're, breaking up the mic and distorting the sound that's coming out. Right. So in order to fix that, you just back away from the microphone just a little bit, mm-hmm. and you can go as high as you want and still get the projection, and it's fun. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, but I think that I've come a long way on it in the past year.
Definitely. So now a couple of questions here that are one is pretty important, and the other is ultimately important. First is, let's just say it's a Sunday afternoon, you're walking around your house drinking a glass of tea or whatever. What are you most likely to be listening to on your CD player?
Well, it all depends upon the mood. Mm-hmm. All right. If I'm feeling bluesy, then by all means it's going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Lee Hooker, B.B. King, all of that. If we go into, if I'm feeling really, really happy or just excited, I love Queen. Mm-hmm. I'll be listening to some Queen. I've been listening to that actually on the way to work most mornings to get me revved up for work. And then there's another band. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. They're, I think, Swedish. It's Sigur Rós. I think that's how we pronounce it. But they're sort of a very airy, spacey
Nice.
type sound, and it's really good motivation.
Right.
You know, you sit back and you listen to it and you feel inspired. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Now for the most important question that is ever asked on this show, and this has a lot of profoundness to it. It's hard to do this with Rusty laughing behind the camera. Elvis or the Beatles?
Elvis or the Beatles? Oh wow. Now, I've grown up listening to both. All right. Now, because my parents were like, "This is awesome" and "This is awesome."
Yeah.
And I love them both. There's no way that I could pick one over the other. I love the Beatles songwriting style, and just Elvis's voice is amazing. One of my all-time favorite songs that he's ever done was "Crying in the Chapel."
Oh yeah.
And just a beautiful song, and almost drives me to tears every time. And I can't pick one over the other, to be honest with you.
Wow, the first stalemate between Elvis and the Beatles we have had on this show. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, forget Elvis and the Beatles for the moment, and let's check out some of Travis's music, and we'll be right back after this.
This is another song I wrote called Hope.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Very special guest, Mr. Travis Mackey. And Travis, this is the part of the show where we pimp stuff.
All right.
This is the promotional part of the show. So we got some pictures here we're going to show you in just a second. First of all, let's tell everybody where they can find you on the internet.
On the internet, if you Google Travis Mackey guitarist, I'm the only one that comes up. All right, so Google that. I'm there. If you go to www.reverbnation.com/Travis Mackey, that brings up my page. There you can download my songs. You could check out my videos. Also, if you look up on YouTube, Travis Mackey guitarist, I have several videos there of me playing. And yeah, and they're on Facebook. I also have Facebook, Travis Mackey guitarist. So.
Excellent. Now let's get a first look at these pictures that I'll let you hold them up, actually, Travis. I'll hold up one, you hold up the other.
All right, these are my space paintings. I've actually made these out of spray paint. You know, saw a guy do it on YouTube about 4 or 5 years ago, and I thought there was no way that I could do this. Well, about a month or so ago, I watched the video again, and I was like, yes, I can do this. So we just went to Walmart, bought a couple of cans of spray paint, and just started having at it. And these are just some of the best, the best that I've done so far, I think.
The Starfield is amazing.
That's actually my favorite one that I've done. And these actually start off at around $20 and work their way up, depending upon the detail, the size of the picture. But remember, I can accommodate any price range. So just throwing that out there. So.
Excellent.
But yeah. If you need information on this, you could always contact me through Facebook or email me. It's tmac724@gmail.com. That's T like Travis, Mac like Mackey, MACK, 724@gmail.com.
Excellent. Now, there's a couple of questions I'd like to ask. What do you think? What is your opinion of the local music scene in the Valley area, Columbus, Phoenix City Valley area?
Well, I think it's good, but I do think it could be better. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but I love it personally. I mean, I wouldn't know half the people I know now if it wasn't for the music scene. I mean, I wouldn't be on here if it wasn't for the music scene. I love it. I love it. I have fun with it. It's really good. But I honestly think it could be a little bit better if we had maybe a few more venues or a few more places willing to do open mic nights. Because I think open mic night's a place where musicians can come and just really open up who they really are. Like Fountain City Coffee, the fact that that's an all-age open mic night, that's wonderful. I mean, I've met so many people through that. I've actually gained a few fans from that. I've heard of several places that have actually shut down the open mic nights, and I can't agree with that. I think that anything to draw more people in, especially through music, then I think we should do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And kind of filtering through the subject of open mic night and filtering through to people who have not yet come out to open mic night. There could be people sitting on the couch with a guitar in their lap. They want to play music. They're not sure how to go about it. They're not sure if they should. Or even an artist. We got this on here, and might want to check out Trip's show. What advice would you give to an aspiring artist of any kind? Of course, this is a music show, but artists, all kind of things.
I'd say do it. Put yourself out there. There's no greater learning experience than getting out there and actually letting people see or hear your art. I look at my music like it's my own personal canvas, and I don't know how well I'm doing. I don't know if I'm actually improving or not until I take it out there and let other people hear it. And I personally think that I've grown so much in the past year just from going to the open mic nights, performing out on the street corners, and all of that, because I was able to go out. From me going out, hearing other people's compliments, hearing other people's critiques. Don't look at any kind of critique as a negative critique. Look at it as a positive. Like, okay, well, I have to learn from that and go forward from there.
Right.
This is sort of downplaying me, but personally, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know, I want to encourage everybody, if you got a guitar, if you've got a bass guitar, if you've got a mandolin or a ukulele even, if you do poetry, if you do art, anything, get out there and do it. I know I've seen several times at the Fountain City open mic night, people come up there and they read poetry.
Yes.
They actually show off their artwork. I mean, come out there and do it. We love to see it. We love to hear it. You know, it's fun.
It is. Definitely come out. Fountain City Coffee Shop, all ages, poetry. People have read chapters from books, music, spoken word, all kinds of things. So the only way you're ever going to know is to take that step.
That's right.
Well, Travis, I greatly appreciate you being on the show.
Not a problem at all. I appreciate you having me.
Hope you have enjoyed this show as much as I have. And we'll see you next time. I'm Brian Mallard for Minstrels on the Block, only on CTVEA.
This next song I'm doing is a song I wrote called Wind and Rain. Hope you enjoy.